Hello, everybody. And now the subheading in this first chapter of imperialism and colonialism in the great book series of uh, this NCRT, old NCRT history book by Arjun Dev Sir called History of Civilization, Part 2. The subheading is the Americas and the Pacific. What is the imperialism here? You have already read about the colonization of the Americas by Spain, Portugal, Britain, France, and other European countries, and the emergence of the United States of America as an independent nation, right? The freedom movements in some of the countries of South America and the Caribbean have also been briefly mentioned. By 1820s, almost all countries of the Americas had gained their independence from Spain and Portugal. Only a few colonies ruled by European countries were left in this part of the world. Among these were Cuba and Puerto Rico, which were still under Spanish rule, and a few others under British, French, Dutch, and Danish rules. The United States in the 19th century emerged as the biggest power in the Americas. She had extended her territories through war with Mexico and purchase of Louisiana, Florida, and Alaska from France, Spain, and Russia, respectively. Within a short period after the Civil War, 1861 to 65, which ended in the abolition of slavery, the United States emerged as a major industrial and military power in the world. By 1900, her naval strength was third in the world. The forces that had led to the emergence of imperialism in Europe and later in Japan also led to the emergence of the United States as a major imperialist power by the later half of the 19th century. You have already read about the treaty which the United States signed with China in 1844 on the lines which some European countries had forced on China after the Opium War. Commodore Perry's show of force in Japan in 1853 has also been mentioned, right? After the US Spanish War, the Philippines had become a US colony. USA had also taken Puerto Rico and Guam in the Pacific from Spain, and Cuba, though independent in name, had in fact become an appendage of USA. When the scramble for colonies began, the leaders of USA declared that she must not fall out of the line of march. They also claimed, like the European imperialist countries, the right to civilize the backward countries of the world and, of course, to interfere in the affairs of other countries to protect their markets and investments. During the period from the 1890s to the early years of the 20th century, the United States spread its control, direct and indirect, over South America and the Pacific. In 1823, the President of the United States had proclaimed the Monroe Doctrine, which warned the European powers against any attempt to extend their power on the Western Hemisphere. In 1895, the Monroe Doctrine was given a new meaning. There was a territorial dispute between British Guyana and Nicaragua, and the British threatened to send troops against Nicaragua. The US government forced Britain not to send her troops and declared that today the United States is practically sovereign on this continent. A new corollary was added to the Monroe Doctrine in 1904 by the then US President Theodore Roosevelt. Britain and Germany had imposed a naval blockade of Venezuela as she had failed to repay the loan which she had taken from them. Theodore Roosevelt forced Britain and Germany to lift the blockade and declared that the United States alone had the right to intervene in the affairs of her neighboring countries if they were unable to maintain the land. Now, the next subheading is struggle against imperialism. Struggle against imperialism. At every step, this is the final conclusion. If you notice, Arjun Dev sir is giving the conclusion now. At every step, the imperialist powers met with the resistance of peoples. They were trying to enslave. Even when the conquest by arms was decisive, foreign rule that ensued was never peaceful for the rulers. The conquered peoples organized movements not merely to overthrow foreign rule, but also to develop their countries into modern nations. Right? In a sense, these movements against imperialism was international in character. People striving for freedom in one country supported the cause of peoples in other countries. Generally speaking, the imperialist countries retained their colonial possessions up to the Second World War. But within 2 decades, after the end of the war, most of the countries succeeded in regaining their independence. We know that. Most of the 19th century and the first quarter of the 20th century, most of the 19th century, 1800s, and the first quarter of the 20th century, 1900s, were the years in which the nations of the Western world held Asia and Africa as their colonial possessions. In the later years of this period of imperialism, about two-thirds of the world's population was living under the rule of one foreign government. Can you imagine? Or the other. You know? So this is the history. This is imperialism and colonialism. It's a fact of history. There are many factors, and all the facts have been put in this chapter, I think. And from these facts, and with more inquiries, we can go further and get a complete understanding, because all the facts themselves give a full understanding. The empires acquired by the European nations were the largest in world history. Imperialism is a story of deception, brutality, and armed might. The imperialist powers, however, justified their enslavement of other nations and peoples in the name of spreading civilization, getting possession of new markets and raw materials, and establishing industries to be worked by cheap labor, created many small wars and two world conflicts. Despite the gentlemen's agreements, there was a continuous effort among the Western powers to redivide the world as between themselves, but never with any consideration for the welfare of the people to whom the territory really belonged. That's the conclusion of Arjun Dev sir, and that has completed the first chapter of imperialism and colonialism. The whole first chapter is now finally complete. So we have had this wonderful journey of seeing, like a big picture, how places were conquered, how it happened, what happened. Thank you.